welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day and another reveal and all that kind of stuff. I'm on my own. Sophie didn't want to record with me today, and she had already opened yesterday's. In saying that, she might jump out anyway. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing and join me on this crazy journey. This is day 10 even. So Sophie yesterday opened up day 10 and she hasn't opened day 9. I think it's lint in day 9, but I'm not sure if there's anything else in it. Quite a small box. Anyway. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Oh, ow. Claws. Okay, I've never seen anything like this before. Oh. Hang on, hoppers. Come on. Who is it? Come on. No, you're going under the chair. You coming up? No? What are you doing? He's confused. Okay. Collagen gloves. It's a face mask for your hands and your cuticles. And by golly, mine need them. It's 10 to 15 minutes that you wash, you put the gloves on, then you cut the tips off, then you dab more goop on the fingers, and then you take the gloves off. So, ooh, I have a hopper. I have Indy, I think. Hello. This is Indy. He is my empathic patamelon. He actually comes and will snuggle up and go asleep next to me when I sit on the couch in the evening. And this is fairly normal for him. Sweat and salty or something. Listening to sounds. Go to bed. She's up. Okay. So collagen gloves. I didn't even know that these were a thing. Massage excess lotion into hands and arms and no rinsing needed. So there's one pair, so 2 hands. Sorry, two. 2 hands. It's argan oil and floral extracts, and it's got lots and lots of French. It's from Voesh in New York, or Voesh. It's got lots of French. It's made in Korea. Go figure. And it's patented. And ouch, claws. Okay, let's see what the site actually says. Oh, but it's a nice pamper. On those days when you're in the middle of winter actually and it's cold and the cold is actually dehydrating you, as opposed to being in the summer and the hot is dehydrating you, either way, it's going to be nice. Winter weather is rough on a stitcher's hands. Take a few minutes out of your busy holiday, prep and pamper yourself and rehydrate your skin with these collagen infused gloves. Now, I don't know if these would work in a bath with the face mask on, the hands on, the bubbles up to your neck, and you just sitting back with, I don't know, maybe an audiobook playing, candles lit, and a glass of whatever your tipple might be with a straw, because otherwise you either drink it too fast, I don't see the problem with that, or you'll spill it all over yourself, but that's just a waste of good alcohol. So don't do that either. Okay, while I have the room, apart from the hoppers, I finished Sophie's stitch. So there it is. So this is the side that reads the SOPHIE. And I've put in 2023 because I might do completely different color scheme for next year and all of that jazz. And she's got the multicolor fairy. The green is all the way up the center, and those O's, because I thought those bubbles weren't the O. I took the big bubble with the calligraphy kind of thing as the actual O. But now that I'm looking at it, I think I've done that really wrong. So I think they were actually supposed to continue. I might go over those legs. Oopsies. That was a bit silly. It's quite hard to read that as an S, to be honest. It's got all kinds of curly cues, and yes, bad mummy. It still works, but, and the top bit's very, very faint. I was actually thinking of maybe highlighting it so that what you'll do is kind of, if you had light shining on it, it would hit the back stitch on that side of the letter that's kind of blending in a bit. Ouch. Oh, have you seen the size of their claws? Ow. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me show you. Look at these feet. Look at these feet. Look at these feet. These are the claws that they use to hop. They don't use them maliciously, unless you're doing that kind of grabby hands, because he's got my finger good and proper. But yes, they're the all the strength is in the feet and in that tail. And because they're starting to get out and about more, they're actually wearing off the hair underneath their tail. Aren't you, cheeky boy? Do you know how kittens and cats do the bunny feet? Yeah, can you imagine that with the big claws and the big feet? I mean, these are the size of my hand. Yeah. Still licking me. I've got milk all over me from earlier on. When they pop the teeth out of their mouth, it kicks back and milk splashes. And I don't think I've got a clean top ever after a feed. It's just milk splashes, and it's like, oh, more washing. Anyway, today we went to a vineyard that had a animal rescue. They usually do, well, they actually rescue any kind of humanized animal, might be the best word. They don't do wildlife, but they will do everything from cats, dogs, rabbits, guinea pigs, birds, all sorts of other things. So they had a tiny, tiny kitten in a cage that when we got there was just like devouring his wet mix and pigging out. And by the time we were going to leave, maybe an hour and a half later, he was conked out in the nest. And there was a huge grey greyhound in one of those, I think she called it a moon seat. But it's one of those kind of, you know, it's a circle as you look at it, but it goes back into a bit of a dip. And this huge greyhound was just lolling there, like I said, a couch potato. And then there was Nella. Nella has hydrocephalus, and she had a shunt put into her brain when she was little. She's all kinds of malformed in her head and stuff. And just recently she had to go in for another operation because they thought the shunt had blocked. And there was an operation done to try and unblock it. And what had happened was, and this is what Wendy's partner was explaining to me, what's happened was the plug that's supposed to keep it in place had been separated because the fluid had built up and pushed the brain away from the shunt. So effectively the shunt is no longer draining the brain from the excess fluid. So Nella has not been able to have the shunt cleared and flushed through, so it's likely she's going to decline, which is a real shame. They have poured thousands of dollars of money into her, and in the hope that she would come good, and she's just not coming good. So it's sad, and it leaves them with a debt. And this is the one thing that kind of irks me a little bit. And I faced it with Godric, my black young cat. I took him to the vet sick, and the vet said, I could do tests that are, this amount of money, but there's no guarantee that he would recover anyway. And it was kind of like, well, I had to weigh up. I mean, it's not just about the cost, but it's about the quality of life for him too. So I didn't think he would necessarily have the quality of life just by getting tests done. And we did this whole weigh up, and the poor vet was gutted. It was one of her last appointments of the day, and she was having to tell me, we're going to just have to put him down. I mean, it saved him suffering, but I knew I was coming in the next evening with another cat to be put down because he was so sick. He was declining, and I had got to that point of knowing he was declining. So, yeah, that was a fun week. That week, not. So Nella was there, and she was all kinds of cute, but she was just lying and resting. And then we went into the paddock area of the vineyard. They had some live music playing, and everyone was kind of lined up around the edges, and there were dogs everywhere. There was probably about, I'd say easily 20 dogs. There was 3 retrievers, 2 of them owned by the same family. There were border collies. There was a palomino colored, I think she might have been an Italian greyhound. She was smaller than a greyhound, but bigger than a whippet. So I think she was the Italian kind of greyhound, which is that kind of in-betweeny. Anyway, she was stunning. Sophie absolutely adored her, and she had tinsel all around her neck. And Murphy was there, who is on the Small Paws page. Murphy is the Smithfield that I was telling you about. He's the Smithfield Border Collie Cross, and he's black and white effectively. I don't think there was any tan on him. He kept coming up to Sophie and I at the picnic table we sat at, and just kind of snuggled up alongside, and then kind of approached other dogs. And he was very, I don't know, I get the impression he didn't know his name. He was very much wanting to please. He's only 8 months old, and the family who adopted him at 8 weeks surrendered him again because life happens and they couldn't keep looking after him. Smithfields are extremely active. You need to either keep their brains busy all day, or you need to have them actually working, because that's in their nature, is to herd and to work and to want to please. So he was playing with some of the other dogs, but mostly he was just after reassurance, I think. Yeah, we were sitting next to a husky. He wasn't very nice. Didn't talk to us. Just played with his owners. But the other dogs were tearing around. And then in the end, Sophie and I actually walked down through the vines. That was a treat and a half. They hadn't cut the grass in between. Who are you? Hello, Hiccup. He's another cutie. He clicks at me. It's like, feed me now. So yeah, we walked down through the vines. The grapes had not produced. They had literally just gone from flower to starting as baby grapes. And yes, I don't know how long it takes for a grape to actually mature from flower to wineable grapes, because these are not eating grapes. And yes, apparently there is a difference. And yeah, we just walked through this. It was just gorgeous though, because the vines were just lush green. Came back up and then decided to leave. Got to say goodbye to Murphy on the way out, and then headed to my friend who has her wildlife reserve charity that she has launched, Sloth Hill. And got to chat with her, got to see Jetson the lamb, who is, she gave him a name, Dorp. He's a meat sheep, basically, not a wool sheep. I think it's a dorping sheep, or dorp, I don't know. Or something. And we got to see him. We got to see her 3 guardian Anatolian shepherds. You're probably more familiar with a Great Dane. This is a Great Dane on steroids. these are huge. They are guardian working dogs. They will basically guard your livestock, guard your children. They're Turkish origin, and my friend is a registered breeder for them, but has never actually bred, and she's considering doing that. But the dogs, when we got there, were, you know, up on the gate, and the big boy, you towered over me if he wanted to. Yeah, I told you, they're not ground squirrels at all. Strange creatures. And this is Indy again. So the two dogs were towering over us, just kind of barking and wanting to say hi and all of that kind of stuff. And as soon as they had said hi, they settled right down, and they were just the most gorgeous things. And it's kind of like, if I could have one of these monsters, yeah, absolutely beautiful. But very much another working dog. So Anatolian Shepherds, that's those. And yeah, they probably would stand at a good, oh, I don't know, meter and a bit tall at the withers, and then head, and of course they can jump, and their paws were like bears. They were huge feet, but absolutely adorable. And even Sophie by the end of it was petting them, which is fantastic because she was towered over by these two giants. Saf stayed inside. Oh, what are you doing? Yeah, this is my life of an evening sometimes, if I don't hoosh them out and have enough of the claws. What are you... Problem is, they've trimmed my hair. I've got hair here and here that they've nibbled on, and I'm sure it's not good for their gut either. But yeah, okay. Have you had enough of me being clambered all over? I'm covered in hair between my friend's place. I actually defuzzed knowing that I was going to see dogs, but I defuzzed when I went to the vineyard, and I was covered in hair in minutes. Oh, stop it. Silly. And they will box each other too. Just like the kangaroos. And they hiss. When they don't like each other, they will actually kind of noise and jump and splat and everything else. What? You coming, Lucy? Lucy? You coming up? Oh, you're not Lucy. Ruby. Come here. Come on. No? You coming? Ruby. Come here. You want to be picked up? No? Strange creatures. It's very weird having them hopping around the house. Like, if they don't hop, they actually do look like giant rats. But they're silent. Well, until you hear them hopping, and you can't really miss the noise that they make for their tiny size. Yes. Okay, I'm going to go. Madness ensues. Full day of appointments tomorrow, and work, and everything else. So,
Talking's waking me up.
Oh, the talking's waking her up. Okay, it's been a much longer video, but I guess you probably would have enjoyed the hoppers. So I hope you've enjoyed. Stick around for more, because we're doing this for another 3 weeks. And they're going to be here for 3 weeks, at least. So yeah, bye from us. You're cute. Come on. Bye. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.